Hello. I don't know why I did that. Okay, sorry. I'm a dork. Okay, so first things first. I know this isn't the Digimon video. That has to get pushed to tomorrow because last night I actually went to this restaurant. I would also state this: the restaurant definitely doesn't need me to chant its praises. I like even if my channel magically over 5 minutes like quadruple went up by 100 times, it really wouldn't change it. They don't need me to chant any praises. They would not never need me to chant any praises. But I had such a good time, enjoyed my food, despite how extremely expensive it is. I had such a good time that honestly, me doing a video about it is a must. And me not doing a video about it would be sin. So here we are. So like I said, the Digimon video is going to get pushed to tomorrow, and I just need to gush about this place. And honestly, it was extremely expensive. But between the people, the food, I can't help but feel like it was worth every penny, despite how extremely expensive it is. I can't emphasize it harder. It's stupid expensive. But like I said, at least it's worth it. So, which is more than I could say about my local Taco Bell, my local McDonald's, most any of the big company places. A lot of them just kind of suck and pump out kind of crap food and think you must now pay 18 or 14 or 13 or whatever. It pay more money than it's actually worth. Here, at least it felt like it was worth the money. At least. Now, Candle in the Woods, like I said, doesn't really need me to champion it. It doesn't need me to chant for it. It really doesn't. Because they have countless awards. Too many. They don't need me really to speak their positives because there's so many well-known awards that are all screaming the same thing. The only reason I'm doing it is because of just how much fun I had and how much I enjoyed it. So I'm going to do it anyways. Now, trying to describe Candle in the Woods, if I don't break it down, we're going to be here for 6 hours minimum. Very minimum if I don't break this down. So, people and the food. Okay, we're going to focus on that first. Yes, I said first because there's a couple more after that. No, really. Okay, I'm going to start with the people. Honestly, it was not what I expected. When I saw the food, all right, I was expecting either hoity-toity, I've been extremely educated types, or worse. I didn't expect a freaking almost 14-year-old crushing the dishes. Like, killing it, got it on lock. I wasn't expecting, like, freaking a 19-year-old, alright? I wasn't expecting nothing of what I saw. And honestly, that almost, in a way, screams to the level of hard work and effort, even more that gets put into all of it. And it already has plenty of stuff screaming. There's a ton of work that goes into this. For maybe a couple of courses, you'll have the same wine glass. Don't get used to that one because you only get a couple courses with it, and then you get another wine glass. You'll have a couple courses with that one, and then again. Honestly, it was to do that many. You gotta remember that there's like maybe I don't know 22 of it. I don't remember the number of us. All right, there was quite a few people. All right, that's quite a few dishes to just cycle through rapidly, and one kid did it. One kid. I don't know if there was another dishwasher, but from the way they talked, I have to assume no. It was just one 13-year-old who was able to keep up with 22 people burning dishes fast. Respect. Okay? Nothing but respect. I have no clue. I don't think I could keep up with that many people that fast. I mostly because it probably comes down to a matter of like training and actually working. It's probably that issue. I don't have that, sadly, as much as I wish I did. But it's just crazy. One 13-year-old, I think it's like 16 or 22, I can't remember, total dishes every single time. That's crazy. And then you have the food. Now, I could tell you the food. I do have even a souvenir menu that I'm going to frame. I swear to God. All right. When it comes down to it, the food often is changing. So, good luck getting used to it. And here's the thing. There's something they say right at the start, right before you get into the food. And honestly, I did it. I did exactly that. And to say I have no regrets is an understatement. A big understatement. But I will tell you of one item that specifically one of the dessert items. The only reason I'm telling you even one ingredient in it, all right, even one of the ingredients, the only reason I'm willing to tell you that is because of how much more impressive it makes everything that I am saying right now here. Okay, trust the chef. All right, just trust. If you got a like severe food allergy, sure, mention that. But when it comes down to the food, don't bother thinking about if you don't like an ingredient. Just trust the chef. And honest to God, all right, put a knife or gun, a ballista, put any artillery in front of my face. Put all of them in my face. Okay? Trust that chef. They damn good. They will take things you can't stand. My dad, he hates cucumbers. The only way you can get him to touch anything cucumber related is if it's in the form of bread butter chips, and that's it. In my case, pumpkin is the worst thing in the world to me. I can't stand the smell, the taste, the sight, none of it. I hate pumpkin, and pumpkin disgusts me and makes me sick to that level. My dad had something that made him actually like cucumber. Uncooked cucumber. No, really. In my case, they did a dessert item with pumpkin. I hate pumpkin to death, and it makes me sick to my stomach normally. All right? They actually got me eat some pumpkin and actually have me love it. Love it. That is an impressive feat. Okay? You don't like raw fish? Well, too bad. I recommend you. I can never harder recommend you to just trust the chef. Because honestly, I bet money he'll get you to like a dish that has fish in it. I can guarantee that. Easily. Okay? Trust the chef completely. It is totally worth it. You are not only in the best of hands, you are probably in the hands of the people you probably are going to propose to at the end of the meal. I'm not going to lie, by the end of the meal, I was this close to becoming the side chick to every single chef. That's how good the food was. I damn near proposed to all of them. Yeah. Now we gotta talk more about the food because we talked about the people, how they're stupid talented and basically are worth blindly trusting into this food experience. Now we get on to the actual food. Oh boy. I was gonna try and give like a rating, like 1 to 10. F that noise. Oh my god. If I just saddled them with a 10, I'm not doing them justice. Oh, hell no. Now, here's the thing. You gotta remember a couple things. One, I am a foodie. Two, I am an aspiring chef. Sadly, I got some work to do on myself before I can actually start doing what I'm plotting, what I plan to do with my own hometown, and where I do a hostile food takeover. What? When it comes down to it, though, the food was. There are so many words, but none of them feel like they fit well enough. Awesome, amazing, revolutionary, life changing, unimaginable, orgasmic is about as close as we can get, okay? That is as close, and even then, that feels like an understatement. Aye, aye, aye. This food was so damn good that honestly, uh, at first it was done as a replacement Christmas present, basically from my family. And honestly, this was so unimaginably good, I basically told them, let's just make this my Christmas present, period. I don't need nothing else, really. I mean, unless you got a way to teleport my girlfriend over here. I mean, unless you could do that. But outside of that, we'll go with this. It's the best food I have ever had, easily. It's best people ever in any restaurant that I've ever been to in a general sense, okay? Honestly, this was the most dynamite killer food I have ever had. And honestly, I walked in kind of not knowing these people, just, with my parents because, we couldn't drag my sister along for reasons. But it was amazing. That's not even a good enough word, but I suck at English. Okay, I suck at English, and the best I can do to actually describe how awesome and just kick ass dynamite the food was is orgasmic, and it still feels like it's not the right word. It still feels like it's not descriptive enough. That it's not, it's not big enough to describe how unreal the food was. And knowing that when you come back, the odds of you having the same thing again being low as hell, if impossible, is damn impressive from basically people who don't have traditional cooking backgrounds. No, really. I know. It's dumbfounding. The very owner and proprietor does not have the typical cooking background anyone ever expects in any universe. Ever. And that just kind of makes it more impressive. And honestly, for someone who himself is an aspiring chef but doesn't have a cooking school background, this was beyond inspiring. And honestly, very heavily confidence boosting to an extreme sense. Honestly, there are no words to fully describe it other than I went in not really knowing these people who I was basically sitting next to. I knew my parents, but that was it. Everyone else out of that 22 was unknown to me. But this probably sounds weird, but it's something that you'll only fully understand or kind of feel once you're there. You see, it's I don't know if it's just the magic of the place, if it's the infectious, wonderful, over the top, I have to say wonderful again, energy from the owner proprietor, or if it's just something magical in the air. I don't know what it is that exactly caused it. But honestly, in all honesty, it was just crazy how everyone to my left, to my right, everyone was completely foreign to me. I didn't know them. I didn't know their names. I didn't know anything about them. But then by the end of the night, it kind of felt like we were all kind of distant cousins who ain't seen each other in a bit, which was awesome. It was a really cool and amazingly infectious, wonderful energy that honestly only added to just how worth the extreme expense it was. Just, it felt amazing. It felt wonderful. It felt positive. It felt home. You know? It was just, there's no accurate enough words to describe just how awesome it felt to leave with food in my stomach, but also feel like I just gained multitudes of cousins. Well, in my case, I'm probably like the uncle they wish they didn't have. But I digress. It was an awesome experience. And honestly, if you're someone who has the money for it and you are within either limo distance because they have, yes, that's right, a limo service that they can offer, because there's wine in every single course. Every course. Believe me, it was great. Granted, I can handle my alcohol, so I was able to drink all 14 courses, have an alcoholic sangria at the warm up starting point, and still be completely fine. Not be drunk, not be tipsy. Thank you. The advantages of being fluffy and good at alcohol. Whether that's something to be proud of, that's a separate topic. When it comes down to it, the overall experience was just amazing. And it, even though it came out to an extremely high price, it honestly felt worth it between the people, the food, gaining basically 22 cousins that whether I see them again or not, I don't know, which I'm not sure why, but I feel almost a little sad at that, at knowing that I might not see them again next time. But it was just amazing. It was honestly to say that they not only earn but deserve every single award they've gotten feels like an understatement. I honestly, if I thought I had any sway, I would definitely give them a couple more awards from each and every single type of award they've gotten. Honestly, it was great. And like I said, if you're someone who can afford to do something hugely expensive like once a year or once every 2 years, I heavily, beyond all reason and logic, I do recommend going to Candle in the Woods. It was I amazing again is not the right word. Not a good enough word. It was this unreal, supernatural, insane, magically damn near picturesque. All right, it was insane. Honestly, check it out. See if you can afford to do that maybe once or 2 years. If you got, say, you want to do something crazy and out there for, say, your significant other, you got a Valentine's Day stuff if you can get in it. All right. And then there's also something called Meal of the Century. Now, it's something that's done, I think, Christmas or like up against Christmas. I don't remember which, to be honest with you, which bumps me out. I haven't done it yet. I'm very curious. I also, though, am more than happy just with what was done, so I don't mind. Uh, so that's something you could do. Try and see if you can get into if you want. Don't get your hopes too set on it. There's tons of people who want into that Meal of the Century deal. Tons, okay? But honestly, do look it up. See if you can go to it. Because honestly, none of the words I've used within this whole video are even remotely good enough to justify or explain the overall experience and the food. There's no words in the language. I could go and grab a dictionary right now, and I'm going to bet you money I don't find a single word that feels like it's good enough. That's how awesome this place was. That's how badass this place was. It was killer. It was dynamite. It was amazing. Honestly, and there are tons of times where people find specific foods they love. But the funny thing for me is, I loved everything. Picking just even just picking 7 to 8 favorites out of the 14 was hell. Okay, honestly, it was. There was so much depth and awesomeness in every single course. I don't know how people manage to pick just one or two. I don't. Just picking the four I picked was hell on earth for me, anyways. Honestly, there are countless times as I'm trying to decide how do I shorten this. I don't want it to be a 6-hour sonnet on the awesomeness of this food. These people will kill me. How do I shorten this? Which was hard. Like honestly, I honestly was so tempted to just go and list every single item and every single wine as my favorite because it was so damn good. Ah! And honestly, I probably could gush for longer, but thankfully I've somehow managed to condense it into only like 20, 21 ish minutes, which is pretty damn impressive for me. So I'm going to take the wins where I can get them. Like I said, sorry that this kind of took place of the Digimon video. It is going to come out. It's just going to be tomorrow now instead of today. The Soul Razor Fast, like I said, I just had too much fun and enjoyed myself far too much to not get on camera and kind of just gush about how much I love this. Like I said, if you are someone who looks into it and you can do it once or twice a year, I heavily advise it. It was outstanding. That was unreal. I will see you all tomorrow, and I will also see you Monday. Let me check. Is Monday. All right, and we'll be doing a. We'll be still doing a live stream on Monday, and like I said, tomorrow we'll do the Digimon, the State of Digimon Part 2 tomorrow. That's just the way it's gotta be. It kind of sucks, but it is what it is. I will see you guys next time. See ya.